Welcome everybody to Saturday night live stream. I almost said Crypto Night in Canada. That would have been funny.
How do you retake a live stream?
Yeah, it's like everybody, please leave. We're going to redo this. No,
Yeah.
no, don't leave, people. Stay. um, so with me, of course, we've got Ken, the Friggin Oracle, and tonight we have a packed show for you guys. We are going to cover the top 10 news stories in the financial sector. 5 of them will be crypto, 5 of them will be more stock related side. We're going to be doing that throughout the night. It's going to take probably the whole night to get through the 10 because I have a feeling they are all going to be discussion worthy. So
yeah, we can always go left field with a couple of them. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, everybody knows Gary Matthews is in the house.
In the house.
In the house. Perfect. Now, funny discussion we had on your Thursday night stream, Ken, in regards to my picture that I made for this stream. So it's the funniest thing because quite literally, I made it in Canva. So I go in and I'm like, okay, let's Ken give me Father Time. So I looked for Father Time. Found this old guy in a white robe with a stick, and I was like, yeah, that'd be perfect. So that's what I did. I put your head on that dude, and apparently everybody else who comes back has been saying that it looks like a dress.
All right, so Candace is clearing the air. It was a picture of a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just I look like a damn good woman, I guess. I don't
know. Yeah.
You look like a lady.
Oh, God. I mean, and just the hilarity. I mean, the jokes that we were all popping on Thursday night was just friggin' awesome.
Yeah, that was a good laugh time. Really good.
Absolutely. So any of you guys who haven't caught Ken's show, it's normally Friday nights. We did it Thursday because of, well, New Year's Eve. So Ken goes on. He has what we like to call marathon streaming. It's a stream that never ends. And it's more of just an after show. We're not really talking about anything in particular. Sometimes we do bring up some topics, but most of the times we're just shooting the breeze, and people are letting their hair down, and it's a good time, I think, for everybody who who just wants that sort of looseness.
Yeah. Well, we could all use relaxation, right? That's what my channel brings. Some people get frustrated sometimes on it, but hey, that's the name of the game. The kitchen's too hot to get out, so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, whoops, that's not supposed to be showing yet.
Oh, well, I think we know what's going on there.
Let's see there. Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to add the screen and talk to you at the same time. We'll add that here in a moment anyway. So brand new year, 2022. What you got planned for 2022?
$1 million in crypto.
$1 million?
I'm planning for it, yeah.
That would be absolutely awesome.
I'm going to spend most of my time in the altcoin realm.
Okay.
So I find there's bigger gains to be made there in a shorter time, so.
What about Satama? Did the Satama mask launch last night?
It's not out yet. It's 7 days, so it'll be out next Friday.
Okay, so because you've been kind of counting the days till that happens.
Yeah. Well, they were doing some Twitter posts, and they were leaving little pictures of the wolf pack in it, and everybody was assuming that every time they did a post, the next day there was one less little wolf pack icon in it, so that they thought that was the countdown. So that would have made it, released after midnight, but they've decided to release it in a week. That way it's a little more fair for everybody.
Right, so everybody can get in.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this all turns out. Just some of the things that you've told me have got me kind of excited for it.
I got Nate to buy some Impact XP. I was mentioning it, and then he watched Jake Gagan was doing a big thing about it, and then he turned around and he decided to buy some. So,
no, absolutely. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw his tweet as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad he grabbed some.
Here's Dave D, so close to hitting the 8-hour mark. I'm assuming Dave just got up now, recovered from watching that show last night.
Probably. I was trying to push it. Like I don't know if I could have pushed it after Rye left. We ended with, playing those masks on his face there. So that was kind
of cool. You know what you should do? You should do like a 24-hour charity stream.
Yeah, I could do that.
So I don't know. I think that would just be kind of cool. Yeah. You probably wouldn't have the same people with you the entire time, but you'd have a few people like, do 8 hours here, 8 hours there.
Yeah. I've got enough connections out in the crypto world that I could probably get some pretty good donations too.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Maybe I can put that in the works within the next 6 months.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, and we've got Jay Borg in the house. Hey Jay, how are you tonight?
What's going on, Jay?
Oh, I know. Oh, and all right. So these top 10 stories, we might as well get to them because depending on how much we decide to talk about each of these, it could take a little bit longer. So the way we did this, ladies and folks, is we basically are doing 5 each. So I'm going to do the 5 stock market stories, and Ken's going to do the 5 crypto stories. And we starting off with a crypto story, which was number 10. And let me pull up the screen, which I think a few of you have already had a peek at. So here we almost go.
I love it.
Come on, Doc. Come on up. All right. So here we go. Number 10. Rise of the NFTs. Take it away, Ken.
Okay. So seemingly coming out of nowhere in 2021, NFTs took the crypto industry by storm in the form of a dazzling artwork, animal-based collectibles, and groundbreaking brand partnerships. The evolution of the space from the beginning of the year has been remarkable, with global brands, celebrities, and companies purchasing NFTs and launching their own non-fungible token collections. CoinRivet looks at the year through the scope of NFTs and provides a market recap of everything NFT related in 2021. It was actually the NFTs when they first came out, they were slow until August. With the data from leading marketplace OpenSea showing an estimated 800 million in NFT sales up until the end of July. So that's actually pretty good. July. So it was really slow going from July to August. So in July, it was up 800 million. Then out of nowhere in August, this is interesting. Volume erupted, reaching a peak of $3.4 billion in total trading volume and sales throughout that month.
Wow.
That was just I don't know exactly what the catalyst was that caused that.
Still, that's pretty massive.
Yeah. But many have speculated that the first early hypercycle of the space was just beginning. So, and we've seen that. It was going up and then it kind of plateaued. And then gaming tokens came in, right? And now you got the gaming working with NFTs. It's very interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the metaverse has given them a huge pump, the NFT world.
Yeah, and they were thinking that the NFTs were actually fueled a lot by you could buy one and use it as your profile picture. So that's probably why a lot of people were buying them. Their base projects including Bored Ape Yacht Club and Cool Cats. The NFT craze reached fever pitch as collectors swooped to snap up their favorite animal-based NFTs and adore them as their profile pictures on Twitter or Discord.
Oh, pretty cool. Do you own any NFTs yet, Ken?
Not yet, no. But I am going to be starting to kind of look in that avenue. That's where everything's kind of going, is NFTs and gaming right now. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I don't have any yet, but I've been kind of excited with some of these collectible ones on Vivi.
yeah.
They sound pretty cool to me. How do you see 2022? What do you see going on for NFTs?
I see a lot of things actually. I think they could actually implement a lot more stuff with NFTs, like on a serious note for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I really could see that, almost doing like the V chain thing, but with NFTs. I just wish the NFT market wasn't so heavily on the Ethereum network right now,
Right.
because there's a lot of money lost with the gas fees, and I don't think anybody is investing those gas fees. I really don't think so. So, you kind of look at the market, you don't really see any investors coming in, but you see all these coins going up and down. So it's just everybody that's in the crypto sphere right now, they're just recycling their money into other projects, And it's
So
a shame.
So I mean, if Ethereum 2.0 were to get their act together and come out, that should help with that gas
Oh,
fee issue.
yeah, definitely. But everybody's coming at, like, you can make them at home. You can make an NFT collection at home as well if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
you gotta brand it to get that money. You gotta make
yeah,
that brand. You gotta sell yourself to people, right?
yeah. I mean, there are NFTs as well that are on other blockchains. So
Yeah, there is.
you
Yeah,
can.
they're starting to do that. So
Now, this may be a hard question to answer, but are the price wise of these other blockchains, are there NFTs coming in the same kind of prices as Ethereum or not? Or
yeah, I believe they're roughly the same price. It's just that whole, when you purchase it and have it sent to your wallet to be saved. That's where you're saving big time on, like, Matic or on Binance Smart Chain. You're saving yourself a lot of money. Like, that's a lot of money just to transfer something over that you just want as an avatar on your social media picture profile, So
yeah, absolutely. But you do get that little check mark to validate that that you are the owner of that NFT.
that's true. And you can go back and look at who the old owners were. You can go back and look at what that particular NFT, how many times it sold for, and what price it actually sold for previously. So
Yeah.
you can gauge a lot of different things off of the pricing of it too as well. So
Oh, that's pretty cool. That is definitely pretty cool. What about you guys in chat? Any of you guys got NFTs in your pockets? Well, not in your pockets, but in your digital pockets. All right. Let's see here. So Dave D actually liked Andrew.
well, who didn't?
Andrew was fun. I honestly, I didn't see him as much, so I have no real opinion. But if he shows up on Friday, I'll get to see him. And I expect to pay $200 in and $200 out in gas fees.
Yeah, that's about what it is. I used to say 125 in, 125 out. But yeah, recently it's been like 200 plus.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. I think we've got a few. We think we've got a few nopes here. So we got Gary doesn't. Dave doesn't. Oh, Mashuk. I hope I said that right. He doesn't. Didn't watch yesterday. That's right. Gary was at.
Oh, Gary was busy enjoying the children.
Absolutely. Family always has to come first.
Yeah.
What's your thought on Impact XP? Oh, that's a
the
perfect.
Yeah, that's the hot ticket right now. Impact XP, man, it's starting to get pumped. So, personally, myself, I invested $1,000, whatever it was. Oh, what was it? I think it was the 20th of the month or something like that. The 15th of the month, 20th of the month. I invested $1,000, and I'm already 4 or 5x right now. So,
wow,
that was pretty quick. It's a solid project. They denounced the contract itself and rewrote it so that it would be suitable to be on the SATA mask, because they want specific things in the contracts that are written They're not saying what it is, but they require certain things to be in there to make the tokens or coins less of a rug pull chance, less of that kind of stuff, you know. So they're kind of taking control of who they allow to be on their platform, that's fantastic.
Now you sort of see the Sata Mask as being a real game changer.
I do. Once version, well, let's see, when it first comes out, there's going to be nothing special about it. Then they're going to be doing an update pretty quick, and that'll allow the staking. And then there's going to be another update pretty quick after that, which will allow you to use like Google Pay or Apple Pay to actually onboard right then and there, right into your wallet. And with whatever they're doing to keep the gas fees low, it's a no-brainer to actually use that instead of, you know, finding an on-ramp. Okay, put your money in, buy your Ethereum, send it to your MetaMask. Then, okay, well, I want to buy something. Okay, now link your MetaMask to Uniswap, right? And then you're paying, you know, $150, $200 just to buy $50, $20 worth of coins. Send them all the way back. At least this way, it's kind of all done right then and there on one platform, right?
Yeah, I think that would be amazing, because that to me is.
I'm sure you'll be able to like link it to, like Uniswap if you want to buy tokens they didn't carry yet.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah.
All right. Looks like it's going to be time to go to number 9. And number 9 comes from me. It is Facebook goes meta. So a little bit about that. So of course, everybody by now knows Facebook rebranded themselves to Meta in the fall. Their hopes, of course, to create a massive metaverse. Now, I've argued a few times that there's so many people already with their own versions of the metaverse out there that Facebook is kind of trying to reinvent what's already there. However, Facebook does they've got the deep pockets. They've got the massive connections, because almost everybody has Facebook. Even if you're a Zoomer or a young millennial, you may not use Facebook, but you probably still have it because that's how you connect to your older relatives. So everybody is pretty much in there. In addition to that, I hear the Oculus was also very popular at Christmas. So this was kind of huge. And it's really interesting. When Facebook did this, when Facebook became Meta, it really created a spark that exploded. Well, on the crypto side, it exploded the metaverse, and the gaming coins, they started going crazy. And even on the stock side, we've now got ETFs for the metaverse. We have the 2 Canadian ones, so Mesh, for example, and MAVA, I think. And we also have the Roundhill one in the US. So it's getting really big, and I don't see this slowing down at all. I just see this getting to be more and more massive. And interesting enough, I think that with the metaverse, even if we were to go into a bear market, I think there's potential there that the metaverse could sort of still carry on its own little tune.
Well, it could, because it's a different utility, right? It's a different utility than normally what crypto is used for. So I could see it really, it could bear a winter easily. I think that Facebook, I think they've got a plan of some sort, and it's going to be dropped all at once. Some kind of a metaverse thing.
That wouldn't surprise me. And that's one of the things, like over on the Crypto Night in Canada, I do a top 10 meta coins and a top 5 meta stocks. Now, Facebook hasn't made it yet breach the top 5. They're close. But I think if they do drop everything at once and they really drop some game-changing technology, they'll blow away the others really fast.
Yeah, because they could build some kind of a metaverse for the Oculus itself, right? And just upload it to everybody, and then boom, all of a sudden everybody's in, some town, Facebook town kind of thing,
And you know what I almost think they could do as well? They could actually create a virtual workplace just like Bang. So all all the businesses would be very quick to jump onto Facebook because they have the brand recognition. People know who they are. So that sort of makes them, I don't want to say special, but it makes them a reliable choice.
Yeah, and with them coming out with something like that right now, it doesn't make business sense because of all the issues that we're having with getting, um, chips and whatnot, all this technology from China, right? We're having a hard time getting it all in. If they were to do a big release like that right now, and only 10% of the community has the Oculus, well, then it's a failure right there because everybody's going to be all mad because they didn't have a chance to go to the store to buy the Oculus to experience it, right? So
there's that
it's all
too.
it's all about putting out the stuff at the proper time.
The other thing too, I sort of wonder is with all of the controversy that they had prior to rebranding to Meta, it almost makes me wonder if they didn't have all of that negative press, if that might have slowed them down. Like maybe they just want to distance themselves a little bit from that first two.
Well, maybe, because everybody originally thought they were going to change the name Facebook to Meta as well. And then they straightened that out and said, no, just our company name is going to change to Meta.
Yeah.
But we're still going to keep the Facebook branding. So.
Right. Facebook within the Meta. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. And we've got Jenster in the house. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Jenster.
Yes, Jenster. Happy New Year.
Hang out with your Facebook friends in the metaverse. Well, exactly. That's exactly what'll happen. I mean, imagine how addictive Facebook would be if you just put on your Oculus and you're in the room with all the other people. It may not be perfect yet, the technology, but you never know what Facebook has up their sleeve. So I think that could be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Riley Mack. Hey, all. Welcome to the stream, Riley. Which is actually funny. My roommate's cat's name is Riley. But now I think he's named after Riley, the character that was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So probably different naming convention.
Yeah. Meow.
Meow. There we go. The perfect comment of the night. A simple meow.
Riley Max got the cat's meow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But anyway, that was kind of neat, that whole Facebook thing, I thought.
Yeah, it's really interesting because they kind of essentially they put the stake in the ground to start it. And everybody else came up like that. And all of a sudden it was like metaverse this, metaverse that. Like Decentraland has been out for quite a while. But lurking in the shadows, people haven't really jumped into it too much in the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, let me ask this question. Do you think it's possible for Facebook to succeed in the metaverse if they create sort of a walled garden around their services?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. They could own the metaverse atmosphere because they would create their own reality world within the Oculus. Now, whether they'll have access to somebody else's lands to be able to frame rate it and do all the graphics and everything so that you can go from one place to another seamlessly, I don't know. That would be a perfect business idea for them, though, if they could start doing that. Hey, Decentraland, can we work something out, and then all of a sudden you turn on your Oculus, you can go to your Facebook group or village or whatever, and then you also have the option to choose Decentraland, right? So
yeah, no, I think that it would make perfect sense to have communication between all of these various different metaverses, just because it's kind of like, if you think about it now, you can sort of almost do that just on the normal web. I mean, you can go from Facebook to Twitter. You can share things back and forth to a certain extent. But within the metaverse, it seems to me a wall almost becomes a bit more of a hindrance than anything else. And I know there's a lot of people who would be, and myself included, would be like, well, I'd rather be playing in all of these other little metaverses right now. And then, I might play on Facebook on the side, but really hoping to have that opened up because it'd be really good to get access to it all.
Yeah, but how many of these smaller metaverses are going to come out with an Oculus to make it like virtual reality, right? If I owned a small metaverse and I know Google's got that device out there already, you could just partner up with them, and then, you know, your patrons within your metaverse could buy the Oculus and use it right then and there, you know, like there's something you watch.
Well, that's
there's
the thing. I mean,
Facebook's got something up their sleeve. You watch.
I believe they believe they probably do. And I know Apple's been thinking about one as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see if we end up with 3 big metaverses, perhaps, or, you know, or maybe they will actually start working together. It's really hard to say.
Well, this is for
So
society.
that would be kind of cool.
They should work together because this is something big for society, right?
Well, exactly. If you're going to transform humanity, then, you know, the more people on board, the better that transformation should be. All right. So we got Jason Spooner in here.
Hey, Jay was on last night.
We got Dave again. And Jason is definitely thinking Facebook's going to go to the moon. I think Facebook is a safe investment on the stock side. You're going to have some up and downs, but, you know, especially if you're right about them dropping some massive thing with the metaverse soon, that would really, really look good on their stock side. And luckily in Canada, we can get Facebook or Meta on CDR, so you don't have to pay exchange rates and such.
Right.
So that is very, very, very cool.
Well, I can't see Facebook sitting around idle. I really can't, you know. There's something.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with you. Okay, let's see what we have here at number 8. And I think this is one of Ken's. The Squid Game rug pull.
It sounds like the way you said it, it's like a board game. Nice. Okay,
absolutely.
Find this here. Okay, the Squid Game rug pull. Unfortunately, the crypto industry is a perfect petri dish for scams. The combination of a much publicized sky-high returns, a relatively new and unregulated product, and a sketchy understanding about blockchain are a potential mix for potential scammers. Now, we've seen that all year. This is the year of rug pulls. It definitely is. And I just got into it this year again, and it's insane. I never seen this before, you know, so people taking advantage of it all. Now, the Squid Game token had no connection with the actual popular South Korean show that was on Netflix. Although the investors who lost their money may feel like the characters in its dystopian plot line, about a week after, this is important here, a week after the token's launch, Squid's price hit a high of over $2,800 per token. And this was one of those quadrillion token kind of deals going on. So it then fell to almost nothing when the project's anonymous creators sold all their holdings and made off with around $3 million.
Yeah, wow. And the funny thing is, when I first heard of this token, I was like, this has got to be a rug pull.
Yeah.
There was just too many things. And when I heard that people, when it was going way up, I heard people were like, oh, it won't even let me withdraw my money. I'm like, oh dear, this is definitely 100% a rug pull.
Yeah, because there's actually a switch in the contract that you can just not switch. And then what happens is it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. People try and put a sell through and it'll fail. You flick that switch and then all the cells can come through. I've seen that on another coin as well.
Oh, wow.
Now, when developers suddenly and unexpectedly pulled out of the project, taking the investors' funds with them, Squid Game is by no means the only rug pull this year. According to Chainalysis, rug pulls accounted for 37% of all crypto crime revenue in 2021, making it the hottest scam in town. Over 2.8 billion has been stolen through rug pulls. in 2021.
Holy banana bread! That's insane. No, that's
Yeah,
a lot. Now
that is.
you were involved in a near rug pull this year. Is that right?
Yeah, there was. It was kind of a rug pull. What happened was the dev built a bot, and they were supposed to make this contract bot free. It's really hard to do that. But what they did is they had it set up that the bot was able to buy on block 0, which is virtually impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But the dev set it up that way. So, and that's what happened. Everybody started buying in. You could see it. It was skyrocketing. It was going. I was even trying to get into it, but it was failing because my slippage wasn't high enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it hit a certain peak, and then all of a sudden, it was still going, and people are texting in the chat. They're like, stop buying, stop buying. It's a rug pull. It's a rug pull. And all of a sudden it just cascaded down. And then it bounced back up. Some people bought on that dip, and then they were able to start selling again. But yeah, it turned out that it was the dev, as far as I can tell, with all the information they provided. He walked away with 661 ETH.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember how much it was. 2 or 3 million, something like that.
Yeah. Well, even still, that's a lot of money.
Well, he ended up giving back 400 ETH. I'm not sure how the hell they were able to get that out of the guy, but he gave back 400 out of the 661. Now they're relaunching that token. I think it's next weekend. I'm not going to say the name of the token because I just want everybody to stay away from it. It's bad the first time. Forget it now, because what they did is when they took those funds back, they ended up giving everybody like 50% of what they originally invested. Everybody was mad because they wanted, my token was worth like 1.2 million. I want my 1.2 million. And they're like, no, you bought in with 3 ETH. We're going to pay you 3 ETH at the time of buying in. We're going to pay you half of it now. And then we're going to sacrifice our marketing wallet on the new launch and pay everybody back that from the new launch. Plus then there's something about them giving them extra tokens or something to cover partial gas fees from the original launch. I was just like, this is just way too complicated. I want nothing to do with it, because people are just going to start dumping right off the beginning just to get that other half they didn't have back, right? So I'm just like, you guys, no, this is wrong. This is so wrong.
Right. Now, when you find a new coin and you're trying to avoid getting rug pulled, what's the strategy you normally take?
I take a look and see about the devs. That's the first thing I do. A good example is Para Inu. It's a new one that I'm looking at. They're apparently going to be donating funds to families of veterans and different stuff that deals with veterans, right? So you go on their webpage and you click on it and you can see their photos, right? And apparently it's 2 brothers, and they have some kind of a business that they deal with the military contracts and whatnot. So then you click on their LinkedIn and it says, oh, he's CEO of this company or whatever. So then you go over and you look at that company and you're trying to find a picture of them, but they don't have a picture of them anywhere in there. There's no pictures of anybody, which is kind of odd, because usually, if you dig deep enough on Facebook, you will find a picture of whatever his name is.
Right.
And I find that kind of weird. So I'm kind of staying away from that. I'm watching it. I'm not going to invest right now. I'm staying away just to see. But I kind of do that. And then I go into like Twitter and Telegram or whatever the hell it's called. I'll go in there and I'll search their coin up and find out what people are saying about it. I'll take a look at the chart, see when it actually came out. Is this in a potential dip right now, or am I buying at the high side of it, right? Take a look and see what exchanges have it, because if it's not very good exchanges, that could be a sign of it being a shoddy coin as well. So that's kind of the different things I look at.
Perfect. Now Mashuk has a question for you. Where do you buy, sell, and hold your cryptocurrencies?
I hold all my crypto on my MetaMask, and I buy them all through Uniswap. Unfortunately, I pay the high gas fees, but I'm very particular on what tokens I'm buying to justify that high amount of gas fee. And I buy at least $1,000 worth. That way that $100 worth of gas fee is worth it in the end. Most of my coins that I buy, I'll buy them and they go down immediately. Like the next day they're down. And I'm just like, whatever. I don't panic about it because I know I just got the coin, like, give it some time. If I hadn't given Shiba or Satama time, man, because Satama was down to like, I put in $1,000. It was down to like, it was only worth $400 for like 3 months. And
Wow.
I just left it, right? I'm just like, you know what? That's okay. I just kept telling myself, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Then I started reading about the project a little more and I started getting really, this is actually okay. This is good because it hasn't hit mainstream media about this coin yet. Everybody's just finding out about it now. I bought it, 3 months ago and yeah, okay. So I'm down $400. Whatever. It'll still pan out. And it did. Both of them, it and Shiba, both panned out in the end. So it's the power of HODL.
HODL is definitely awesome for sure. Okay. Let's go to our next story. So that was number 8, the Squid Game rug pull, and number 7, ooh, the oil strikes back. Ooh, that sounds ominous. So oil and commodities, that's what we're talking about here for number 7. So it's really interesting. If you go back to 2020, we had a point where oil was actually in the negatives. So to
they were
produce
paying us to take it. I remember that.
Yeah, and that's amazing, considering now we're at a point that oil it's at a rocky road at the beginning of the year, but now towards the end of the year, oil is actually, and commodities in general, have been picking back up. A lot of this is, of course, because the economies have been turning again, which is really, really good. But here's the interesting thing about oil. When times are booming, so when the economy is doing well, normally what the US will do is they'll produce 3 to 4 wells a day to take advantage of that and to get more oil out into the market. Do you know how many they are actually doing a day right now, Ken?
I have no idea.
1. So the US is not pumping out as much as they should. They're only adding 1 new well a day. Now, the other side of this equation is Asia. Right now, Asia is expecting and experiencing an oil shortage as they move into winter. So there's a huge demand on the world stage for oil, and it's not being produced as much as it should be.
So this is running into political.
There's probably some politics there. We're not even going to worry about the politics part.
Okay.
What we're worried about is, can we make money because of this?
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, if you want to make some money on commodities, oil is a nice bet. I mean, still do your due diligence. I'm not telling you to go buy oil, but I think oil is going to be a very interesting commodity to watch through the rest of the winter. I don't know what will happen in the spring, but I think for the winter, I think we're going to see some solid returns on oil investments. So that I think is definitely kind of cool. And that's the reason oil made it as high as it did, number 7 on the list this year.
I can't believe they're only doing 1 well, though. That's just...
I know. And plus there's other issues too. Like up in the northeastern parts. So New York State, for example, Cuomo, when he was in, and this is not politics, but he had put a lot of policies in to sort of hurt the pipelines in that area. So there's a lot of things all coming together. And at the same time, there's also a lot of pressure. Everybody wants to start moving towards renewable and natural gas. But the reality is, no matter how good it would be if we all moved to renewable energy, oil's going to be a big player at least until 2050.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of one of those things. So it's one of those things where a lot of times when people are looking at investment and they're looking at how they want to play, a lot of people are thinking, well, okay, renewable energy is the future. Sure it is. But oil's going to make you money now. So sometimes you have to sort of weigh that, like, do I want to invest in the future or do I want to get some returns now? And I think the smart investor is probably going to do both.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to, like, hey, you go out and you buy your Tesla car, right? Well, it took diesel mining equipment to gather all the supplies to build that, So it's just
Hmm.
it's it's kind of weird,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Jason's sort of saying that maybe if Biden didn't screw the bus on the pipeline, um, yeah, I mean, once again, that's politics. We're not going to get into the politics part, but there's
Mhm.
just it's just wise to be aware that there's a lot of factors going in that are going to maybe they're not going to be the best factors for the U.S., but overall for the commodity markets, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of interesting days ahead for oil. So definitely put that on your watch list, folks, if it's not already there.
Yeah,
You know,
oil's interesting. That's interesting.
well, it is. And here's the thing, too. I mean, you hear about peak oil. They're saying we're going to eventually run out of oil. Well, if that were the case, and it probably is, I don't know. I'm not for or against that theory, but that to me would mean that oil is going to become more valuable.
Yeah,
And there's
same.
still, yeah, and there's just so much of the world that is relying on it to the point that they aren't ready to switch over everything to renewables. The world isn't there yet, and
Right.
you're just going to have a demand for it, and somebody's going to be making money off the oil, so it might as well be the investors.
Well, yeah, that's what they're saying about natural gas too. We're going to eventually run out of natural gas, and well, when that happens, then we're back into pollution by everybody burning, possibly burning wood to create heat for their house again, right? Like, I don't know. No matter how you look at it, we're stuck. That's the way I look at it.
Mhm. Yeah, and Dave's pointing out how do they make the electricity to charge a Tesla?
Yeah,
That's a good,
exactly.
absolutely. Well, I mean, you take the full manufacturing process of just making a Tesla, there's going to be, you can't tell me there's no fossil fuels being used in that process at all.
Yeah. Or the fossil fuels used to build that
Mhm.
dam, that blah, 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 hydroelectric dam, right? Or the diesel cranes used to put up the windmills. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean everything cycles off of each other, but the goal is like if you're going to create, let's say, a hydroelectric dam, you want to basically be getting a net return on what you've had to invest. So
right.
I don't know how many, let's say watts or kilowatts or we'll say gigawatts because that's almost like Back to the Future. But I mean, if you're putting in, let's say it takes 100 gigawatts to make a dam, well, that dam better be producing much more than 100 gigawatts to
Oh,
make it
yeah.
feasible. And that makes sense, and that is perfectly fine. But you still have to keep in mind we are still using it, so it's not a situation that renewables don't use fossil fuels. They do
Yeah.
until unless and then this is another rabbit hole. You can say, well, oh well, they were powered by nuclear power, but then it's like, well, you had to have used fossil fuels to build the nuclear plant somewhere.
Yeah.
So, everything does use fossil fuels to some extent, even if it's just initially. So, there's going to be a demand for oil.
Yeah.
And that is why we should be looking at that as a possible good investment.
Exactly.
All right. And we've got Bleak in the house. Hey, hey. And a happy new year from Bleak to all. Happy New Year, Bleak. All right. Well, let's take a look and see what we have next on our list. So that was number 7. Well, let's see what we have here for number 6. Doge with memeing.
Doge with memeing.
I know.
Um,
I
let's
was trying to
see.
be crafty.
Well, that is very crafty. Well, that's what I mean. Like I said earlier, you know what? Yeah, okay. Well, this little segment here is about Doge, but you know what? We're gonna get into Satama. We will get into Shiba. We will get into this. We will get into that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Dogecoin. Well, it's actually been around since 2013. I actually remember it coming out because I was involved in cryptocurrency back in 2013. It was initially created as a joke. It wasn't until earlier this year that the meme when meme stocks and meme coins became so popular, in large part thanks to social media. Let's see here. By the time Dogecoin had hit its all-time high in May, it had already gained a whopping 14,000% in 2021. That's pretty damn good. And it had a market cap of more than 85 billion US dollars. However, since its high in May, the meme coin has sold off by over 70%. Even at this low price, though, it's not the only bad signal for Dogecoin. The cryptocurrency is primarily a payment coin that's used for tipping. This is a market with heavy competition. Plus, its underlying technology is not the greatest either. But in addition to all the reasons why Dogecoin doesn't offer that much potential, the numbers show it's falling out of favor as well, which we've seen on the charts. You know, it just keeps going down and down and down. Then it'll spike up and then back down and down and down. So is it the end of the Dogecoin? There are a few key metrics that show Dogecoin and its network could be falling out of favor fast. Only 9% of holders have bought in the last month. And furthermore, its trading volume continues to decline. At the height of Dogecoin's rally earlier this year, the cryptocurrency regularly saw periods where within 24 hours, volume was over 20 billion US within 24 hours.
Wow.
With it reaching as high as 67 billion at one point in time. However, in the last few weeks, its volume has only been low, but it's also been constantly declining and has barely been able to break $2 billion US now. So that's the history of Doge. And
That's
you
kind
got
of cool.
bot in the chat.
I slammed down that bot fast. It's like, yeah, I love a real audience, not a bot audience.
Yeah, so that about sums it up for Doge. It's a meme joke coin back in 2013, and it took somebody like Elon Musk to be like, this isn't quite that much of a joke. I got a big joke for you. Let's try and take this SHMT coin and let's blow it up and let's see what happens. And he made billions off of everybody's back.
And, you know, it was interesting. I mean, when he first started doing it, you could quite literally sit down and watch as he tweeted something about it, and you could buy right then and then sell it a couple hours later and make a pretty half decent profit. That was kind of amazing. Now, Doge, of course, inspired a lot of the different Inu coins.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Once Doge came out and people were like, developers could see, hey, you know what? This meme coin market's working really good. So let's go ahead and create some of our own. And then all of a sudden, the mystical E-news landed in the hemisphere, which,
there's a lot of them.
There is well, I just told you about Para Inu that just came out like 2 weeks ago. You know, so you're seeing more serious companies get rid of the Inu, and you still got the
Dave.
Inu.
There's Dave telling us that Shiba had a 63,740,000% increase.
Wow, I never knew it was that big.
That's pretty big.
I've got a pretty big one coming up later, but not that big.
Not that big, absolutely.
But that's community driven though, right? To get up like that. And that's the big thing you're seeing in crypto now is community driven tokens, right?
Now, amongst the Enus, how many have utility?
Basically, they all do because they have some type of NFT thing behind them or some pay to earn thing behind them. They've got one or the other. So they do have utility. Not the utility like Shiba or Satama, but they do have utility. Like even Shiba's got games coming out. Satama's got games coming out as well. But
Yeah,
that's on the
well,
back end. A lot of these meme coins are banking on that on the front end, right? So
now, was Satama ever classified as a meme coin before
it was.
Okay.
It was just having that Inu on the end of it. It was. And then when Russ and Nam and all the other partners got together and they decided to turn Satama into an LLC, when they filed the paperwork, they made sure that they removed that Inu. So, and you know, that's a cryptocurrency that's actually a US company. So, you know, you're on the right track when you have a company doing that.
Oh, absolutely. We got Keto Lion in the house. Hello, Keto. Good evening, folks. Can't wait to sell my Doge. Had a chance when it reached my price average, but got greedy and missed it.
That makes two of us, man. That's happened to me quite a few times. My bag of Shiba, I watched it go up to 35,000, and I didn't cash out until it dropped back down to 20. So, you know.
Right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you think the next time to get out of Doge might be when if Elon does his landing a lander on the moon called Doge? You think that'll be it, or will there?
His fire is not working as well as it used to. A lot of people aren't listening to him anymore.
No, but if he actually landed a ship on the moon called Doge, that might be enough hype. That's why I'm thinking.
And if it is, that would be the end game. Yeah, get out then. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, the next other option would be if you could maybe take a loss and use it to balance off some of your gains on something else, maybe. But
yeah, that would be about it. Other than that, you know, it doesn't have utility really. Like, you know, they tried the whole use it to pay for this and pay for that. Yeah, different stores and whatnot. It did nothing for it. It only moved when Elon said something. Because before Elon even said anything, Doge was at like 0.004 cents. So it wasn't even worth a penny. And he pumped that sucker up to like 75 cents. So there was a lot of money made. But unfortunately, it was the big players that really made that money. I looked at my wallet. I sold it in 2016 or something like that. So, you know, I would have had $7,000 or $8,000 worth at the peak. So.
And I think, as far as I know, even the Dogecoin millionaire has gotten himself out of Doge to a certain extent. I think he still has some, but I've heard of him dabbling in a lot of other different coins. So,
well, if he got it really, really early, then regardless of what Doge does, his holdings will still stay
in the positive,
right? But if he could sell 75% of it at say 80 cents and hold 25% when it's down to like 23 cents, you know, he still made huge profits off that 75%, and he's still got 25 just sitting there just in case, right? So there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And Dave is saying Shiba will become a coin soon.
A coin? What do you mean there, Dave?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he means.
A physical coin for a country of some sort, or?
That's a good question. I do not know what he means. But while we're waiting for Dave to get that, our next topic is a doozy. So let's pull this back up. So that was number 6. Now we're moving into the top 5. Number 5, a wee bit of inflation.
I could so say something.
I know.
You got to inflate it just a wee bit, huh?
A wee bit of inflation, yeah. So interesting thing about inflation, it's on the rise. I think everybody sort of knows this. If we go back to the beginning of the year, back in January, in Canada, the inflation rate rose by a measly 1%. So that wasn't bad. We were still thinking that things were okay. In the US, it was a little bit worse back in January at 1.4%. Then by about April, that's when things started to really get bad. April in Canada, we got a 3.4% rise in inflation for that month. The US had a 4.2%. So they've been doing progressively worse than us. But Of course, things did get worse. Again, once we got to August, we had a 4.1% raise in inflation here. US had 5.3%. So that's pretty big. Now, the last month, like I don't have December data yet, but in November, we had a whopping 4.7% inflation in Canada. That's just absolutely ludicrous for us. The US had 6.8%. And
Now,
that's
is the US more because the cost of living is less compared to the dollar?
I think part of it has to do with your own GDP, the way your banks and how much money you've had to print. So if you think
Oh
about
yeah.
supports, if you think about the supports in the US, they were supporting a lot more people than what the Canadian government was supporting.
Yeah,
So
that's
just
true.
based on that alone, they would have had to print a lot more money. So that would explain why prices are even higher. So that's kind of interesting. So that's kind of neat about inflation. But I mean, here's the reality: is things are going up as it is. Where they're going to have to try to control inflation. They're going to have to start tapering up our interest rates to
Right.
see if that will get a grip on it. And of course, people won't like that, but I would rather have higher interest rates than higher inflation rates because it's at the point that things are going just absolutely ludicrous. And keep in mind that when you calculate inflation, so for example, the 4.7% for November, they're not looking at everything. They're
Right.
looking at, they have a basket. So it's basically a basket of items, and they will calculate it on those items only. So there's going to be items outside of that basket that aren't being calculated that are going up even crazier. And sometimes some of it's temporary, some of it's not. Most of the inflation itself is going to be here forever. But when I say temporary, I'm thinking of like if you take the beginning of of the human malware event, what
Right.
happened to lumber?
Oh
I mean,
Jesus. A toothpick was $1,000.
exactly, and that's exactly what happened. But now that some of the prices of lumber have started to come back down, they'll never get back down as low as what they were before the human malware event. It's just the nature of the beast.
Right. Well, I couldn't understand because a lot of the toilets in the summer that I was doing was at like it was like home renovations. I'm like, with the price of wood right now, how the hell are these people affording to do these projects? I'm just like, holy crap.
Well, I'll tell you, in Nova Scotia, because I was back there until October when I moved to Ontario, but there were people who had recently built decks for their house. They were
Right.
tearing apart their decks so that they could sell the wood.
Wow.
I know. So, I mean, absolutely, that's kind of interesting. Now, inflation goes beyond just goods. You can even look at this price of real estate. That's been just going crazy.
Insane.
It's getting to the point that a person can't buy a house anymore, not unless you have a miracle happen.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
you
can't
picked
afford to,
pick
you
that
can't
right
even afford
coin.
you can't afford to live on your own either. Like even rent, like it's
Hmm.
insane. What I
Oh, it
pay,
is.
my mortgage is less than what it is for a one-bedroom apartment here in Sarnia. My mortgage is less
Hmm.
than a one bed. That's insane, and that's on,
Hmm.
excuse me, owing $219,000. My mortgage at that high end is still less per month than it is for a one-bedroom dumpy apartment.
Hmm.
It's
Oh,
insane.
absolutely. Now, Dave just mentioned that it will have its own blockchain, not running on ETH.
Right, that'll be Shibarium, and the gas
Hmm.
fee is going to be paid with the Bone token. So that's just a little hint about Bone in the future. That's why I have
Hmm.
a loan right now.
Of course. Now, also, just jumping back to inflation, I know we're sort of jumping all over now. It's
Mhm.
like we're doing the hokey pokey, put your left foot in, put your left foot out. So anyway, um, with of course we also have the supply chain issues that is also creating. To me, that's like some artificial inflation, but I still don't think things will ever get back to the way they were, even with that. So I haven't seen I haven't seen a lot of it yet here in Ottawa, but I do know I went uh, Boxing Day. I went over to the superstore, and everything was pretty much gone.
Well,
But that,
I remember reading an article about some of these companies that are going to build their own ships. They're going to have their own ships so they don't have to rely on another courier to get their goods from China and from India and whatnot into North America.
right. But let me ask you this question. Are they going to build their own ports?
Well, that's true too.
It's not like you can just, buy your own ship and then sit out there in the harbor with a catapult and hope you can hit your truck with it. It's like, whoa.
Hey, Walmart's close enough. We'll just shoot it inside.
Oh, absolutely. But that's kind of the interesting thing. It's just these prices are going crazy. Everything's been going up. And between the human malware and a lot of local companies starting to go out of business,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just,
all the time.
it's almost like a giant, perfect storm of badness when it comes to all of this. And this, of course, will impact the market. There's just no way around it.
Right.
It just comes down to how bad will it be? How long will it take us to recover?
Yeah.
And Jason's saying that he kept an apartment in his name to keep rent cheap for my son and his girlfriend to live there. That's absolutely. And that's kind of interesting too, because a lot of times any kind of rent control that are on these places, the second you actually move out or change the name or the ownership, it can, the prices can go absolutely nuts. Because as long as the same tenant is in it, then there's places where it's legislated they can only increase the rent by a certain percentage each year. So that's actually
where I used to live in townhouses. Our rent was like 900 and something, or getting close to 900. And some tenants that lived there for like 10 years, their rent was still at like the $700 mark. And it's because of that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the place I stayed at when I lived in Toronto, I was renting a room from a mother and her son, and they had this apartment for like 20 years. So I got cheap rent because they weren't paying that much either.
Right.
Because they just had it for so long. But it's kind of interesting. Gary Matthews says that won't happen. I'm not sure what he refers to.
He's probably talking about the catapults.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Too many regulations to fire a catapult nowadays. If they were to put it in their name, it would go up 600 more a month overnight. Exactly. Yeah. And we've got Scott from Create, Save, and Invest. Amazon and Walmart charter own container ships. I read. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Everybody, Scott has a nice little YouTube channel as well over there. Create, Save, Invest. Just search for that. Check him out. Maybe give him a couple views. Follow him if his content is to your liking. I think it will. He's, like I said before, he's like the Bob Ross of of these Wealth Simple Challenge type people.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And there are too many regulations to do so. Canadian Tire booked entire container lines. Wow. Well, that's a way to really, sort of, if you're getting all the supplies because you have your own container line and nobody else is, that's a great leg up on the competition.
Right.
Rental in my neighborhood is $2,900 a month. That's really high, but I don't know where Gary's neighborhood is. I know when I lived downtown Vancouver, rent for a small 1-bedroom apartment was almost like $1,600. Now that was back in the time of the Winter Olympics. So that's, I imagine that's skyrocketed even more since then. But that's inflation. Inflation is just going to be with us for a while. Now, I know down the States, Kathy Wood seems to think that deflation is coming. I just can't see that at all.
Not anytime soon, anyway. No. There's so much money that needs to come back in that there's no way.
Yeah. And Jason is saying, yeah, it's out of control, Gary. Young couples are at such a huge disadvantage. And it's true. I mean, the millennials and the Zoomers, the odds are stacked against them.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I say in the next 20 years, we'll start seeing a lot of abandoned houses. I think we will, because people won't be able to afford to move in, and they'll just stay living in their parents, and then the grandparents will move in too, and it'll be a whole working family to pay the bills.
Yeah, or I mean, you'll also see some of these rental companies just start gobbling up these houses, and it'll get to the point that it'll almost, even if you have the money, you may not be able to get a place to buy. It'll mostly
that's the thing. They'll end up running out of people to rent, because everybody's just going to stay living at home, right? They're going to it's going to be like what the Portuguese do, right? It's going to it's going to put the F back into family. It really will.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Scott mentions as well, Vancouver, huge money. And it's true. It's really expensive to live in Vancouver. Beautiful city, but expensive. That's all I can say about Vancouver. All right. So that was number 5. Are you ready for number 4?
Sure.
I think number 4 is one of yours. So number 4 is going to the gala.
Going to the gala.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here. Gala has a market cap of 3.26 billion. The Gallon token has gained 45,600% in 2021, according to data from CoinMarketCap. So this here, I was using this as like the top gaining token. Obviously, some of the meme coins have skyrocketed higher, but I didn't want to really go down the meme channel for this kind of content. What do we have here? So this token actually launched in 2019, so it is an older token. Gala Games has over 1 million monthly active users. The platform has over 26,000 NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, and the most expensive NFT transaction stood at $3 million. Gala Games now aims to create a portfolio of blockchain games, allowing you to own the asset you win while playing the game. The assets won are verifiable on the blockchain and can be traded with other players. Did you have Gala at all in any of your metaverse or gaming tokens at all?
I looked at them. I think the only problem I had with Gala is that it had massive pumps throughout the year, but then since the second half of the year, it's mostly been kind of moving sideways.
Right. Okay.
So there hasn't been a lot of momentum lately, but it's been one I've been looking. Actually, really interesting. This morning, Tim Danter actually messaged me and said, "What's your thoughts on Gala?"
Really?
No, he did. He did. I told him that exact same thing, that it's just one of these ones that I always wonder, when something pumps that big and then they just go sideways forever afterwards, it always makes me wonder, do they have anything left to pump? And maybe they do, especially now with the infusion of the metaverse. But I think it's a coin to pay attention to for sure.
Yeah, it's been around since 2019, so it's not some new coin off the hop, So it's been around for a bit. That's about all I have on Gala. It didn't really give me too much information about it.
No, okay. Because Jem was going to ask you what you thought of the tokenomics for it.
I don't know. I didn't actually look at it. I just did some Google searches and just seen what came up and decided to present it, because it's a gaming token. So I'm not there yet. I'm not even in NFTs yet. So under normal circumstances, I wouldn't even have looked at that token. Right. So.
Right. Now, before we jump over to Riley Mack, Dave had something on the last one. He says he's not sure who's buying the houses, but thousands and thousands of them are being built in Edmonton.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch in my area. They're building new subdivisions. It's insane. It's insane.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. And then Riley was saying, I thought about Gala when I sold it at 14 cents after buying it at 3. That's still a pretty good profit.
That's a decent profit. That's what, a
Yeah.
3.2x. That's
Of course,
nothing.
it hit. Of course, it hit 84 cents back in November. But here's the thing: it doesn't hurt to take profits. If if you've made money, then who cares? Even if you got out too early, the thing is, you could have just as easily have gotten out too late. So if you got out with profits, pat yourself on the back. Look for your next opportunity. Playing the if only I had done this game will basically distract you so that you're going to miss the next opportunity.
Happened to me.
And Dave D, it takes me 2 days to install a heating system, and I can work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. Dave has defied the laws of physics as we know them.
I was going to say, he must be doing his work on Jupiter. Doesn't Jupiter have 36 hours in a day or something?
I think it has quite a bit. I think I'm not sure the exact number, but holy banana bread, Dave, that's impressive. And we got Genster. Maybe my bro Will. He wants us to move there. That's in regard Edmonton, I think.
Edmonton, yeah, not Jupiter.
It's cold. It's cold, and Scott's backing us up here, saying there's nothing wrong with running away with your money.
That's true. And if you believe in the project, like I did with Satama, I sold Satama quite a few times on swings. I just made sure that I bought back in the original amount of tokens that I sold. That way I knew exactly what my profit was every single time. I based it off the same amount of tokens. So.
Oh, absolutely. All right. I think it's time to go to the next one. So that was number 4. Well, let's look at number 3, the Tesla Touch. Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one, was it?
Absolutely. Oh, I should leave this up for a couple more seconds here. So Tesla. When you think of 2021, you have to think about Tesla. I mean, this is a car company. It's Elon Musk. Just the amount that their share price has gone up over the year has just been phenomenal. It's one of the few times like you have Elon, who every so often is saying that he thinks they're even overpriced, but they've been a success story since the beginning of the year. Everything that they have done seems to have turned to gold. And it's looking like it's going to be the same thing in 2022 because of the Pi phone. If you remember the Pi phone, it's funny, when I first heard about the Pi phone, I actually brought it to a chat. That was the night that Tim and Nancy Danter were on, and we just sort of started the show off with a quick little discussion on it. And quite literally an hour later, we got to begin our normal content because that was the conversation about this Pi phone, because it sounds really, really cool. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at some of the features that this thing has, but
no, I haven't even looked at it at all.
Oh my God, this is a phone that you can drop. It's designed for dropping. It has solar power on it, so you can actually charge it with the sun. It can connect to, and this is big, it can connect to the network, the Starlink network satellites.
Right.
So here's a thought I had. In Canada, we're paying way too much for our cell phone bills. So if this Pi phone comes out and it can do everything off of the Starlink, well, you may not need a provider. You might be able to just pay Tesla, and they're probably going to be a lot cheaper than what the big telecom companies here in Canada are. So that
because Tesla wants to, they want to take over the world, right? They want everybody to have a electric car, right? So why not try and corner the market on
exactly? Because I mean, here's the way I see it. I mean, they'll come in significantly lower, and either the Canadian telecoms will match them, or they're just going to start bleeding customers. So that's kind of one of those things, and that's something to watch for in 2022 when this Pi phone becomes a reality. And it sounds like they're trying to get a copy, or at least the first generation, out this year. pay attention to those telecom companies, because if they start offering something that's cheaper than them, you may see some stock impact on, like, Rogers and Telus and Bell. So, and those right now are currently what I consider blue chip companies. So it could be very interesting to see how this is all going to impact them.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about cell phone towers. So you wouldn't be down like where I live. You wouldn't be at the bridge and then get a text message saying that you're roaming and you're on AT&T's tower, right? So this could be, the world phone, like all the other, like, because we have world phones. We obviously have them. You see in the movies, the big fat antenna that you flip up, the little half antenna.
Yeah, and look at what Ryan here. And look at what Ryan is saying. Also, Apple offering engineers mega bonuses for retention recently. It's very telling. Absolutely, because who will be hurt the most by this iPhone? It's probably going to be the iPhone.
Yeah.
Now try to say that, 5 times fast, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see how this comes. Either Apple's going to have to sort of step up and redesign their iPhone into something that can compete against all of the features that you're going to get. Oh, and here's the other thing too. This Pi phone, you can mine crypto on it. The Mars coin. So
Really?
that's one of the things that they want to do is basically, and you're using the, it's not like you're using anything too powerful. It's like you're using their networks. So you're using the Starlink satellites for your internet, and you could be mining coins.
Now, is that, do you know if that's going to be physically draining on the phone, like, or is it like cloud mining, like the Pi network? The Pi network is cloud mining.
I would imagine that if you're doing it on a phone, you probably want it to be Pi, but I don't know. I can't say one way or another. The only redemption point, I guess, is that you could charge your phone using the sun while this is all happening.
Yeah, but when you're mining, though, your processors become really, really hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Solder issues that happen if they're not using
but here's the thing too. We don't know what the design inside of these Tesla phones are going to be. I do know that they're already boasting that their batteries are going to be insane compared to everybody else's.
Right.
So if the entire thing is very low energy consumption, you might be able to mine without a huge concern for heat. But it'll be interesting to see. I have to see one of these things in action to be able to really answer that.
Right.
So that's kind of good to know. And then Ryan has a follow-up. So the real question is, do you invest 1,000 in Apple or Tesla? I'm thinking Tesla has more active runway. And Ryan's right. Absolutely. It's like, here's the thing about Tesla. Tesla comes out with something new, completely left field, and you're not even thinking about it. Sort of like when Elon marched out a robot. It's like, what? They've built humanoid robots?
Or underground tunneling.
Underground tunneling. It's kind of like Elon's that type of person that if something isn't there that he needs, he just invents it and then makes a fortune off of it.
Yeah. I don't know if he invents it, though. He might come up with the idea, but I think he tells the techies to invent it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Then fine tunes at the end saying, you know what? No, I need a huge slushy cup holder there, the 1.5 liter. I need one of them right there, kind of thing, does the final touches.
Exactly. Now, Scott, in response to Rise 1000 on Tesla, he's saying split it up 50, 500, 500. See, there you go. True diversification.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ryan agrees with that. So that's the whole thing. So Tesla, I think, is just going to, I think they're going to be a safe bet. Now, if you are looking to invest in Tesla, of course, we do have it as a CDR. So you can do that through Wealthsimple. So keep that in mind. Now, Keto says
fractions, right? That's fractions of investing.
It is. It is a fractional. It is a fractional share. So you're not paying for the full share. You're getting it for like 30 some odd dollars a fraction, but it acts like a share. So example, Tesla, you don't have dividends, but let's say Apple, for example, has a small dividend. So if you have a fraction of some CDRs in Apple, you'll actually get fractions of those dividends as well. You know, basically, it's just simple math, whatever percentage of a fraction compared to what dividends being paid out. And Keto says, I should have bought Tesla when I first started my investing journey. This company has the best chance to take over the world.
Very true.
I really want to play the Empire theme from Star Wars, but I'd probably get a copyright strike. So I won't do that. But think that in your minds, folk, as you read what Keto just said.
Yeah.
Miss you, Keto. And neither Ryan both overvalued. And Jay, ha ha ha. And agreed with Apple, but I'll eventually open up with Tesla. All right. And Gassan is, as long as Elon is alive, Tesla will do well. So much innovation. Also, Apple is getting into trouble with antitrust stuff. Yeah, they are.
They have been for a while.
Perfect. And Patricia's in the house. Hi, Patricia. And Jason Spooner. CDR will be useless soon, while Simple will be offering American account for $10 a month. Yes and no. The CDR will still be useful because it is a nice, simple way to get your account anyway. Without, I mean, it's still fractional, but at $10 a month, you would then be looking at paying a full share, unless Wealthsimple is going to do fractional inside of that US account. And I don't 100% know if that's going to be the case right away. So that will definitely be interesting. Press the like button. Yes, everybody, press the like button. I like that. Oh, and I kind of left the Tesla thing up there. Like, you know, when we're talking about it, we're supposed to come back to this one here. Oh, my foobar.
It happens.
And then here we go. Ryan's coming in. CDR still performs the same. CDR is also hedged against the currency. I'm still buying the CDRs as opposed to the American Tesla. Absolutely. And keep in mind, too, with the CDRs, you'll be able to put those into your TFSA and your RRSP. I don't know yet how Wealthsimple is going to set up the American account. It might just be a personal account, American personal account. So you may not have a TFSA or an RRSP option. I really would be surprised if you do. But I do like to be surprised. And Gary is saying smart. I think that's in reference to Rise past comment. All right. Are you ready? Are we ready for number 2?
Sure.
All right. Let's pull up number 2. And here we go. So number 2, the top. This is going to be the top crypto story of the year. So number 2 overall. And Polygon and the Hackers of Doom.
Yes. Yes, I picked this one because it was the biggest hack of the year. It's almost the biggest hack of crypto all time, actually. Let me see here. So we've talked about scams and marketing manipulation, but we can't discuss crypto cataspheres without also mentioning hackers. Over the summer, a hacker stole over 600 million from Decentraland finance platform called Poly Network, one of the biggest heists in crypto history. But in a surreal twist, the hacker then returned the funds, claiming the theft was only done to contribute to the platform's security. Poly Network dubbed the hacker Mr. White Hat on social media. Other DeFi hacking victims have not been so lucky, though. In December, hackers stole around 120 million from the Badger DAO and about 150 million from Bitmart. And the hackers did not return any of that money. So that is, yeah, a little hacking going on. There's a lot of money like this, like the rug pulls and then this stuff. Like, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe we do need some level of regulation. We really do.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. And that was just, to me, I thought that one was a really insane story. The fact that it even happened. they were just very lucky that it was a white hatter that did it.
Yeah, because that could have been catastrophic for Polygon. Like
Mm-hmm.
that would have been awful, you know, because they're starting to move up and get into their prime, right? And then all of a sudden get knocked down by that. That would just,
Yeah.
oh man, it wouldn't
Oh,
affect me
absolutely.
because I don't hold any, but I know some other people that have it, and it would have affected them big time.
Well, and that's the thing too about this community too, is sometimes things don't affect us, but they're affecting the people that you're talking to every day. So
Yeah, well,
it always.
this could add other catastrophic events happen too as well. It could have
Mhm.
caused a lot of big whales to actually pull out of crypto too, if they were heavily invested in that project and Matic allowed that kind of a security breach to happen. Yeah, that could have been really scary. Like, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question. You brought up regulation. What type of regulation do you think we need in crypto?
Security regulation to make sure that, you know, the idea of these coins that's coming out can actually be fulfilled, and it actually will be fulfilled. They'll regulate it. They'll keep bugging these companies saying, oh, well, if you're going to do this and that and that and this, give us a timeline. We're going to come back during that timeline and we're going to check your progress and we're going to find out whether you are or not. And then, they could probably distill some kind of penalties for the companies not reaching their deadlines and their goals without having an enormous excuse, a catastrophic excuse of why they haven't reached it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, because nobody's accountable in this whole, nobody is accountable other than maybe Elon, you can hold him accountable for the whole Dogecoin thing. But other than that, there's no accountability. Technically, you can do a rug pull and you can walk away with the money. And the FBI is not going to chase you, I found that out from all these different rug pulls that the FBI only gets involved if it's somebody from the high society that has invested a lot of money. Like if Paris Hilton invested in something or Snoop Dogg and lost a lot of money. Yeah, then the FBI is obligated because it's a star that lost their money. But if it's you or I, forget that. They're not, the RCMP isn't going to get involved,
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's kind of cool. Now with exchanges, I know there's been a little bit of security issues with exchanges as well this year.
Yeah, Bitmart.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one? Did I mention it? Badger DAO. That had a big one too. Yeah, it's unfortunately the Bitmart one because a lot of the tokens that were taken were Satama tokens, and that caused Satama to drop massively. Now, Bitmart says that they are going to buy back the tokens that were stolen. It was around 700 trillion. However, Satama has let Bitmart know that that supply is not available out there right now. So they have
that
to
makes
slowly, they got to slowly buy it back to give it back to their customers. I believe, I don't know whether trading is still suspended for it, but I believe withdrawal of the Satama token is still suspended. The COO Russ is trying to figure out what the hell Bitmart's doing because he figures they're just dragging their feet. They're pissing off their customers. That's not a way to run a business. They did have some type of an insurance claim on this hack, so they did receive some funds. So I don't know. It's a pickle you get yourself into as being, look at their pickle, like, 700 trillion coins and they can't buy them back because they're not in the wild right now. Everybody's holding. So, like it's the hacker dumped it and everybody just ate it up, Buy the dip right there. That's a perfect example of buy the dip right there.
Absolutely. And Jason was mentioning as well that Cuban got rug pulled this year.
Mark Cuban. Oh yeah, he did. Thorchain, was it not, or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, and notice how that hit the media big time.
Well, that's the thing, yeah, and it kind of scares people. Now, with all of these things that have happened, how confident do you feel about exchanges in general?
It depends on the exchange. If it's like Binance, I believe in them. They've been around a while. Their security is pretty good. I don't believe in Coinbase or What's that other one? Crypto.com. I would never use that either. Even though they have their own trust wallet, I still wouldn't. But, if I did have the ability to, I would choose Binance still. Like I bought my Satama on BKEC. That was one of the first exchanges they listed. They're out of China. I sent my Satama there after trying to make a quick buck off it, and it got stuck in limbo for 3 days. And, one of their supports online said, haha, sorry, sucker, your money's gone. That's basically what he texted me.
Oh, wow.
And then the next one's like, it's stuck in our system. We have to send it to tier 2 tech to get it all figured out. And then I had somebody else saying, yeah, you're not getting your money back. Sorry about your luck. And I'm just like, well, what the hell? I bought them from them. Like, what the hell? I bought them from them. I sent it to my wallet, collected the reflections for a bit, and then seen there was a difference between DexTool and their server. So I was like, well, I can make a lot more putting it back on. So I went ahead and tried to put it back on. I'm like, how the hell does that get screwed up? I'm sending it to the address you gave me. So it was an internal wallet exchange that was the issue. But they ended up like 3 days later, they sent me back my coins minus the gas fee and minus 4%, because it was like 2% reflections, 2% burn, or whatever it is on there. So I lost out on that. So, but I got them back. I got them back. So I was happy about that.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Big platforms.
All right.
Only.
Okay. Before we move to number one, I'm just kind of curious for the chat. What do you guys think the number one story of the year is? I will give you this hint. It is on the market side. So just start typing in your guesses here. The first person who gets it right gets bragging rights.
Oh boy.
Now, Ken, you already know what it is because I shared it with you already. But
oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I was thinking of something else, something just off the wall. We'll save it for next Friday.
Oh, there we go. Absolutely. So let's just see if we get a couple of guesses in here.
Come on, guys.
While we're waiting for that.
Don't make me and Candace walk away for 5 minutes waiting for an answer. Come on now.
Yeah, we'll just, I'll sit my cat up here and she can meow at you for 5 minutes. All right. And we got our first guess. The amount of the S&P 500 record closes. That was a huge story. It's not the number one, but I did look at that one because I was like thinking, oh, that one should be, if I did straight top 10 on the market side, it would definitely have been in there. But no, there was something bigger that happened this year in the stock market that we're waiting for. Nobody seems to want to make a guess. Oh, look at this. Jason. Everybody bow to the mighty Jason.
Now I remember you telling me.
Bow to the mighty Jason. He has pulled it off. All right, let's pull this up. We'll look at my quirky graphic. And so the number one, retail bets on Wall Street. So everybody, I'm sure, remembers Wall Street bets. The retailers come all joining together. Amazingly enough, Elon, in some cases, was actually poking the goat as they were driving stocks like crazy. So the GME pump, there was also BlackBerry. All right, close your ears, Rye. They pumped weed at one point. So there was just amazing. Now, what was interesting about the retail bets is that, with the whole Wall Street bets, is that it was, I think, the first time that the institutional side started to say, oh, okay, these guys are a force, because when everybody worked together, they made some incredible things happen. However, and this is the big however, the issue was, unless you were on the inside of this whole thing, it was very hard to make money because they were throwing the price up, and the price was then coming back down. You had the institutional people fighting back. You had people getting liquidated. There was just a little bit of all-out chaos. There was opportunity there, and some people made a absolute brickload of money. Not everybody, though. A lot of people lost money too at the same time, which is kind of sad. And this, of course, spiraled into Robinhood shutting down their basically their app when it came to these stocks. So you weren't even able to sell. You'd be looking at the screen, seeing how much money you made, but you weren't able to sell. So it created, I think it tarnished Robinhood's reputation a bit. And it just, I think it changed the whole atmosphere of some of the things like Robinhood. You even say Wealthsimple on our side to a certain extent, but more or less it brought a lot of attention to it. And it changed everything. And for a while, everybody was focused on stocks. Like it brought laser focus. It was hitting the news, even the non-financial news. They were talking about, GameStop, GME, the whole thing. It was just, it had a huge impact. And that's the reason it became number one.
Yeah, I remember that. That's when I started actually looking at the High Ride channel, was around that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan is awesome, but I imagine some of his good fortune was this happening. It did bring a lot of interest in, and of course, a lot of those who are Canadians found Ryan because he was producing really great content.
Mm-hmm.
And then here it is. Honestly, February saw everything explode. Retailers finally realizing they had those things too. So that's kind of cool. But that was the whole thing. The whole retail, the whole GameStop thing, it was just massive. There's still people out there who are convinced they're going to make a fortune on some of these things, and good luck to them. I think that time has come and passed.
After Squid Game was announced, a rug pull, there was still people buying it. Yeah, it's insane. They were thinking it was going to come back to life again. I don't know how it would have done that, but
sometimes people just can't let something go. And that's one of the problems. Like when you go on YouTube and you find some YouTuber pumping something great, like maybe it's like, oh, GME is going to the moon. Usually by the time the YouTubers are pumping it, it's already too late. Proceed with severe caution.
Right.
So Jason said all the February people are now gone. And I think a lot of them are. Absolutely. And almost all, thankfully. And need them back. Miss their money.
Yeah, that's true.
I miss their money too. And Dave actually made a couple $100 on GME. And you know what? The fact that it's in the positive once again is okay, because that's perfect. And left my butt off, missed the money, but I don't miss the volatility. Absolutely. Okay, and Keto, I still own AMC. HODL as a cautionary tale for future payout. And sometimes you never know. It's kind of one of those things. Timing was everything, Candace. Also, I wouldn't have been motivated myself unless the market was what it was. Right. Oh, absolutely. And hey, I'm still here. Hey, Nate. Nate's going to be back on the show sometime, I think, in January. So I'm looking forward to that. And I still have a few shares of AMC. And just give me 1 second here. I'm going to, as we're getting closer to the end of the show, I'm actually going to fire it a link there for Rye because he wanted to join us for the after show. So if he wants to drop on and throw a couple of his little tidbits at the whole AMC thing, that would be awesome. All right. Just going to throw it. And I'll just throw this into chat. This is for Ryan. Anybody can click on it. I'm just not going to add you to the chat.
The control, the power. She's got the power.
The power has swollen me head. I'm just
She's got
going
the power over
crazy. I'm drunk with power. I didn't learn that thing that Spider-Man learned, with great power comes great responsibility. I was sleeping that day in class. So what we got here, Nate. And Panda is geez, what's up, y'all? Nate, I have a few shares of GME and AMC. And you know what? A few shares is fine, but if you bet the whole farm on it, that's another story.
Yeah.
Full House, oucha. And Nate, Rye taking a break from editing, just finished up my first run through. So yeah, Nate has a video coming out. I don't know if it's going to come out tonight, but probably by tomorrow. So definitely check that out for Nate, because he has an awesome little channel there. If you guys have not seen his channel yet, go over there, give him some love. Embrace the community.
Mm-hmm. I like watching his content. He does a really good job.
His editing is better. I mean, his editing's better than mine. It's really, really good.
His editing's better than mine because I don't even edit.
Fair enough. But no, Nate makes it look like it's easy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Candace, or no, that's not to me. It's Canday. So whoever Canday is, they have 262 subs. Awesome.
Hip hip hooray for the candy.
Yeah.
Candies with the exclamation mark.
It's actually really funny. There's this thing called what is it? Charlie the Unicorn. Apparently, there's something on the internet. One time, I ran into it once, and the whole thing is this Charlie the Unicorn is trying to get to Candy Mountain, and some people at work, when they found that, they were making fun of it, and they were having some fun. So, what can you do? All right, and I'm going to bring in the Rye Meister, or attempt to. We're at least looking at a swirling circle for the moment.
I had this problem last night too. I think there's something going on with his internet in this area.
It might be.
Charlie.
Nate has 10 kids. Nate probably knows every single kid's thing on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that.
Yeah. Like
now, an interesting question.
An
interesting question here for you, Nate. What are the ages of your kids? What do they range from? Yeah, Nate, if you want to jump on and talk about Charlie, you can do that. Oh dear. I've only seen it briefly, just because where somebody was making fun of me with it. I was like, okay. Oh. But that's fine. Oh, Ryan's in the process of restarting his computer. All right, we'll attempt to add Nate. And we have Nate, everybody. Everybody say hi to Nate. Nate, say hi to everybody.
You guys can hear me?
We can hear you.
Awesome. That Charlie video, I hop on about Charlie because that's like the best video ever. If you haven't seen Charlie the Unicorn, you have to look it up. It's like these two little horses are bringing Charlie to Candy Mountain. They're like, Charlie, come with us, Charlie, come on. And he's like, where are you guys going? And they're like, come on, Charlie, we're going to Candy Mountain. And then they're going down this river, and they're like, ring, ring, hello. And he's like, hello? And they're like, ring, ring, hello, ring, ring, hello. And he's like, answer the damn phone. And then at the end of the video, they get to Candy Mountain. He's like, oh, this is Candy Mountain. This isn't impressive. And then he wakes up and his kidney's missing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a dark ending to this.
Yeah, super dark. Kids. Yeah, so my kids are, my oldest is 15. So we have 15, Olivia, she's a she. And then there's Micah, he's 13. He's a boy. And then we have Addison. Addison is 12. Well, she'll be 12 in January. Genevieve is 9. Yeah, she's 9. And no, she's 10. 10. Sorry about that. And then what do we have? We have the two twins, Josie and Stella, and they are 8.
Are they identical or?
Yeah, they are identical. And
Okay.
then we have Jansen. He's 6. And then we have Grace, who's 4. And then Anila, she's 3. And then we have David, who's almost 2. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Nice chair ride. I like it.
Yeah, he's using his
whiteboard.
He's using his invisible filter.
Oh, you should have seen him last night using that filter. Holy jeez.
I should get kids to edit the video. I can train them up.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Yo, my internet's whack. You know what I'm thinking it is? Because every time I restart my computer, everything's fine again. So I don't think it's the internet. I think that mining on my laptop fried it before it had to die. But I think that's exactly what's going on. It just overheats in minutes. It's a friggin' joke. But whatever.
Oh, wow.
Like, am I glitching on your end?
No,
yeah, super.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, Nate's a guy who's getting half-decent internet in on the 5th of January, so.
Yes, second internet provider is coming in our area. I'm not just surviving on ExploreNet anymore. Bell Canada is bringing wireless internet to our area, so 5G internet for the rural area. Although Bell is the devil.
Apparently, Engine is pumping, folks. I love Engine.
Oh, Eng, nice.
Now,
Eng is one of those.
It's
one of those meta stock or meta coins that I actually like. Engine Mana.
Yeah, well, Engine works with Efinity, so EFI. So EFI is able to use the Polkadot network to sort of give it that cross-chain functionality. So that's one of the reasons I'm pretty bullish on it for sure. Bring on Gary. The funny thing is, I can actually have 10 people on at once. So it's
Gary was potentially the only person who could have handled last night's Andrew.
Yeah.
And then thanks, Jason. I mean, heck, we've already got a whole crew in here. So, Gary, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome to. I'll pump the link one more time.
Well, since you got some more co-stars, I'm going to take off for a second to make a coffee.
All right. Sounds great. All right. That filter stuff. What were you doing with your filter there last night, Ryan? Anything different or... Dave was going on about your filter for last night.
I think he's talking about the funny cartoon faces I can turn it into.
Oh, I know. Those are actually amazing. I haven't set that up yet, but I think that's just absolutely insanely amazing. Panda Blaze, hey, bud. Yo, Gary, what's up?
So what have you been up to, Nate?
Let's bring Gary in here.
Renovating.
Hey.
Welcome. Floor.
Hi, Gary. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what's going on tonight, Gary?
Absolutely nothing. I'm still sober, so that's great. I didn't torch myself and left early from that group yesterday. Thank goodness I was only on there for about 90 seconds.
Oh, wow. Dude, we needed you for 3 hours yesterday. I'm just letting you know that right now.
You know what I was thinking? I'm thinking if this all goes to, downhill in 2022, Happy New Year, everybody, and everybody in the group. All of us just need to pack up and let's find another province that we can run to and hide.
You're welcome here, but I ain't going anywhere, bud. Yeah. I'm staying exactly where I am.
Gary, where are you? You in Ontario?
I am in Ontario, unfortunately.
Me and you, brother,
Everyone's in Ontario.
Yeah, I'm in Halton.
Yeah.
So I'm in the Halton area.
Oh, my in-laws are close to Waterdown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's close by. About 20 minutes.
Bye, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. So now, what did you guys think of these news stories for tonight?
They were
Anything
good.
to add?
They were great. I
Yeah.
like to learn a little bit more. I think my weakness, me personally, is understanding more of the MetaMask and how I can apply that to other exchanges where I can buy some of these other altcoins. So I think that's my new goal for 22 is just understand that a bit more.
Gary, do you
Yeah,
mean
that
to
makes
use Dex?
Yeah, that's something I'm not comfortable with. I'll be honest with you. I mean, all my coins are big coins in the top 10, easy to grab, easy to find. You can get them off almost, any app aspect. And then you get into the MetaMask and then I'm almost lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be careful. That's
the friggin' Oracle should make a video about that.
About what?
Just using MetaMask and the different masks.
Yeah.
It's not
Exchanging.
even that though. It's like because we all figuring out MetaMask is super easy. It's
It is.
dealing with the like implied volatility of everything that's on MetaMask and that whole space. Because like I don't need MetaMask for Bitcoin, Litecoin, XRP, friggin' Ethereum. I need MetaMask for the shady stuff that we're banking on. Not shady, but you know what I mean. Like you don't need MetaMask for the safe stuff. So you could. I mean, Ken, you should make a video, but like. It's still not going to, for me, I don't know what it's going to take, but maybe I'm like Gary. I'm still not there mentally.
Yeah. Cause I mean, it's easy to obtain some of the bigger altcoins. I mean, your BTCs and Ethereums and stuff like that. I mean, you can buy Dodge at almost anywhere. You can buy a lot of coins very easily in all kinds of different avenues. But when you get into some of the other coins that you guys talk about in your top 10, then you really need your MetaMask to figure all that out. And then, so I write them down and I try to explore and like, okay, how do I buy, spend a couple $100 on that particular, altcoin because of its futures or where it's up and coming. And then I'm a mess from that point.
Yeah, and Dave CD says that adding Binance Smart Chain to MetaMask takes a bit of effort.
Yeah, Dave had that problem the one night. I sent him 2 different videos that I found online from the Binance Academy showing how to actually install it.
Mm-hmm.
So that helped him out greatly.
Can you have MetaMask on your mobile?
Yep.
Okay. That I did not know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But of course, Satama Mask is going to be the big one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's everything.
It sounds weird, and I'm not going to mention the friggin' names of the CEOs because one, I'm not invested in any of them. 2, it's irrelevant. But I just always track the tweet section, like the reply section, like not what a CEO tweets, but go to like the reply section and their likes and stuff like that to see what's up. And dude, I have no clue why or what the hell it is, but you know how many friggin' CEOs are like straight up not talking about it, but liking and engaging with Nacho, whatever the hell that is. I still cannot figure it out, dude.
Notch? I have no idea.
Nacho swap is coming out. I don't know what it is, man. Look, you're the expert in it. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't get it. I actually do not understand it.
Nacho.
I've never heard of Nacho. I've heard Nacho Man.
Neither have I, man. I was just curious.
Nacho swap.
Yeah. I think I've heard it, but I haven't looked into it. But
I want to be a Nacho Man.
Nacho Libre was one of the funniest movies ever.
Well, one of the funny things is old Dorito had that Nacho Man commercial with the fat guy doing the weird dance, and that used to just crack me up. I have no idea why, but I would just be dying on the floor, cracking up as he was doing his little Nacho Man dance.
You know what? They stopped making good commercials. You know what used to be a good commercial too? Six Flags with the old man going bonkers. That was a good commercial. You don't remember the Six Flags man dancing all over the place? That was a good one. They made good Sprite commercials, beer commercials. Now it's all lame-o.
No, but what I've been hearing lately, and I don't know which network it is, and I think it would be the US networks. A lot of talk about NFTs, and just little snippets of it in their commercials.
Right.
So I think that's going to be a new trend or something new to come up in 22. If you're not in the NFT space now, now's the time to really start investing into it.
Yeah, you'll
What?
probably have this year to do it, and then after that, you might miss the boat.
Yeah, I think it'll just be mainstream at that point where it's a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think any NFTs are going to be used for just so much. Even like when you get your driver's license, I think it's going to become an NFT down the road.
Oh, I really hope not.
It probably
That would
will
be the
be.
easiest way, and then you'd never have to deal with any
Figure out your
BS.
name.
No, see, that's where you're wrong, Ryan. Because the minute you go ahead and do so, that means you are giving an officer the rights to access of your phone 100%.
I wouldn't. There doesn't have to be access to a phone. A QR code can be represented on a piece of plastic, like a license. It doesn't have to be anything on my phone. Like, I mean, they can access my blockchain record from a QR code. I could have it tattooed on me for all I care. Like, I might not even have to carry a wallet around. That's what I'm thinking, because there's no way I'm ever. The whole. That's an interesting point.
I don't carry a wallet. I haven't carried a wallet in years.
I keep forgetting it, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm losing my mind or not, but I've carried my wallet in the back of my pocket for 15 years straight, and now I'm like forgetting it at home. I cannot understand why. Weird.
I keep my license with my insurance in my truck, and then everything else. I haven't carried it. Like, I don't own debit cards. I don't. All my credit cards are on my phone, so the only thing I carry is my phone and my keys.
That makes
And now
it
a
simple.
mask, unfortunately, but another problem.
I'm not sure what Panda's talking about with money laundering.
Oh, I think
NFTs.
he's saying that it's easy to launder your money in Canada since our bills are now plastic.
Wow, you've been taking lessons from Tim Danter. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I think money's going to go to the side really, really soon. The minute I think 22 is going to be a big year because of the Queen stepping down. The Commonwealth is going to change.
Yeah. And Jason's saying we would have to see Journey. Doesn't he own all the NFTs?
Yeah. Journey owns a few. Journey's not here.
I was
tonight,
able to finally trade up too, because Journey sent me another one the other day. So I was able to sell everything I had and trade up and get this suit. This one's pretty rare, that Fantastic Four one.
Nice.
And then the Eternals one. So I'm psyched about it. Just
That's
trade.
my
so
plan.
you were
my
able
plan
to
in the
sell your
morning.
Daredevil?
I sold the Daredevil because I had one more else I was going to sell. Plus I was making money just like flipping them. And then I had enough for both. So I'm pretty psyched about it.
Cool. You're slowly getting your way up there.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to set up my VV account, and hopefully I can be able to purchase at least something tomorrow without the help of anyone, and then go from there on our next live show. We'll have to go in that a little bit more.
Save money for like money for like a
Don't
drop.
get the shocker out. Don't get that shocker out.
No. He's no. Free spirit. It's sitting here.
No free spirit. That's it. Go ahead. You were saying, Ryan?
I don't even know what I was saying, to be honest.
We're talking about VV, or talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I'll be honest. I do not care at all about comics. Okay, like straight up. I'm only just putting a little bit, such a small amount of my own money, and then just trading up. And the way I look at it, it costs me virtually nothing. I'd be crazy not to treat it as a little fun experiment to trade my way up and keep going with these comics. At the very least, I'm learning about NFTs and the people involved in it, because because again, I'm not into comics right now, but I'm learning the space. I'm learning the trade up values. I'm learning what they value, what they don't, how Omi's integrated into this, the licensing deals. Like, again, I'm more about, I'd say, the platform, the app itself, than I am about like collecting what's on the app, if that makes any sense. But I'm still learning quite a bit every day.
Well, I'm looking at VV as a setup for my children, or my oldest. So I like to get him. He's definitely right into that type of the comic books, just all the different things that VV has to offer. So I'd like him to get a little bit more interest into that, starting at a younger age, at 11. So I mean, I can put money into account and have him take a look and say, okay, how are we able to move some things around and see if there's maybe some future growth of what he can learn from that aspect.
Well, I think that at some point you're going to see like physical comic holders want to tag their physical comic with an NFT. flat out and just have it as a package deal. One, marketing, free society, capitalism. There's a million reasons why it's going to happen, that they're going to tag it. So that's really the only thing I'm looking at, because again, it's cool, I guess. I mean, maybe for the kid, I don't know. I'm in this space because other people, not because I'm sitting here getting hard about comics or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, but I want to get into that space, one, for learning, and two, for selling. It's how do I diversify some of the money that I've made or have and be able to push it in some other locations. I want to dab. So same as what Ken's doing. I want to dabble into a little bit more of those crazy altcoins and throw a couple what risks on 22. I mean, there's small amounts of funds. If I can 10x on anything that I'm doing, even at a $20 value, I get 10x on a $20 and cash out. It's a win-win.
It's a lot. Yeah. Keep in mind though, I mean, the odds of you 10xing are the odds of you collapsing, and like, you know what I mean? I don't know. The risk matches the reward.
I'm just making a smaller amount. It would be a much larger amount than that.
Well, if I put 10,000 on everything that I was picking,
you would have been a millionaire.
I'd be living in the Canary Islands right now. You know, I really would. You know, but there's that big risk though too, right? You know, if you put 10 grand on something,
well, look at the same thing. If you drop 10K on BTC at January 2021. And where it hit almost the high peak was in October. Right?
Yeah, but if I would have put 10 grand into Satama, I would have made almost $2 million.
Yes.
So you know, there's a little bit of a difference.
Go back and look at the price of gold January and look at the price of gold here in December. You would have been down. I think it was like 14%. And Bitcoin was up 46% I think year over year.
Well, that's why I was saying that if you're looking to make gains, your best gains to get is in altcoins. It's not by investing in like Bitcoin.
But if I put I agree with you. But if I put another $1,000 on Matic and put another 1,000 on Polkadot, put another 1,000 on Satoma, put another 1,000 on even now today, right now, where would you think I'd be at the end of the calendar year?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Keep in mind too, I'd say over the last 4 months, I've made way more money on my gold miners than I did on crypto.
Yes.
So time frames are a really weak argument. I'm just going to put that out there, because if you bought gold if you bought Bitcoin in February and then we measure it till now, looks like a total joke compared to gold. So like you can't compare gold on time frames with Bitcoin, because as much as people compare those two asset classes, they're not comparable. Like one has volatility that doesn't make sense in gold, like that's not even possible, right? Now, for instance, if you were to go back to before 2008, I can bring up a gold time frame that makes it look like kingpin status, right? I think that people like because if we look at how Bitcoin did this year, up say 70% or 65 to 70%, oil did better, okay, and gold was significantly safer. And if we're looking at when the timelines are, and I say safer because I didn't lose a damn thing on gold. I made a bunch of money. And it like, so that's the one thing is like Bitcoin's trying to be gold. It's not gold. It's not even a good comparison to gold. Like the volatility, that's like me owning an ounce of gold physically or $1,000 in a gold mining penny stock. The volatility is going to be totally different. You know what I mean? Like that's my only thing with the time when people bring up timelines with Bitcoin, because I can bring up a timeline that shows Bitcoin collapsing 45% in a matter of a couple of months. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's there. So that's.
But I also want to. I think it's a great opportunity. It's not just for profitability, but it's a great opportunity right now to learn how to get into some of those smaller altcoins.
Yeah.
At this point, and because it is, I agree. I think maybe not in 22 or 23, but 26, 27, 28, all these altcoins are all going to start changing, and we're going to get into just a certain, even if it's not top 100, the remaining of them are just drifted away like penny stocks, not worth its value, not worth owning or operating. But some of the ones that we are going to struggle to get into, we need to learn how to get into them today so that you're ready for them for tomorrow. And some of them have some great.
That was a good speech. That was really good. That's something the president would say. We gotta do it today.
You guys gotta be.
I'm thinking Gary was the valedictorian and just set him up for this. Either that, or else he runs a Toastmasters.
It's all Panda and Jason. You know, I have supporters. Oh, I have Dave. Dave's my supporter. I got a few supporters in here now.
Bum 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 bum. Hey, I did a little experiment back in 2017. You guys can check out my early Instagram posts. I bought all of the top 100 coins, and I put $20 in each. Do you know how much I had after 4 years?
I share that story all the time. I remember back.
Like it went bad. Like some.
I don't know when
look
I
up
was
First Blood. First Blood was in the top 100. Look up First Blood. It was in the top 100. Look up where that is now. Look up Wings.
I was in 4XM. Was it 4XM? Yeah, 4XM.
BitConnect.
So I was exchanging values of currencies for full time for about almost 4.5 months, and at that time somebody presented me to go buy Cardano, which I told you about, and I bought 4,500 coins of that at 4 cents each. And you know, even I'm still laughing now. I don't like the rate where it sits at right now. I liked it. I'm expecting it to rise up throughout 2022, but we'll see. But it won't drop below $1 at any point. So at the end of the day, I'm still doing fine.
EOS, my brother. EOS was supposed to be the next Ethereum killer. The next Ethereum killer. Oh, it was like pumping like crazy. I don't know what its all-time high was, but it's been at $4 for like 4 years now. What are some other ones?
I've been going balls deep on my crypto investments, but I eliminated all of the underlying assets. Actually, you want to hear something funny? And this is not on purpose. It's only because it's in my BlockFi account. I guess the only crypto I still own is Litecoin. So I think that's the only thing.
Amazing.
I can't believe you still own that.
Dude, I'm never going to sell my. I mean, I'm never going to not own some sort of Litecoin. Like, no way.
Always.
I have more faith in Litecoin than I do Bitcoin. I don't even care if that sounds crazy or not with respect to return on investment. But I've been going crazy on my miners, dude. I've been just buying the dip.
Well, here's the funny thing about BlockFi. I pulled everything out of it, and then I got an interest payment after that. So it's like I just took that interest payment, turned it over to a stable coin, and now I'm just trying to grow enough interest on that so that it's big enough to move it off.
Well, my thing is every couple of weeks I check it, and there's still referrals who are like going to it. So I'm just, I mean, I guess it's Americans, I don't know, but I'm just using all of that and just moving it over to Litecoin. Like I don't even care at this point. I'm just going to stack Litecoin. I can't take it out of Shake Day. So
you're making Nate very happy.
I actually love my Litecoin. I've made a ton of money on Litecoin.
Everything out of BlockFi this year.
Sorry,
as of now, January 1st. I mean, now the profitability for Ethereum is down to 1%. Doesn't work great for me. I'll leave one coin in there, but that's about it. The rest of it all has to go.
I think Litecoin's down to 2.5 as well.
Yeah.
And I am really starting to think that until we get a spot ETF with Bitcoin, we're going to have a lot of stale movement. Things just haven't been looking good towards the end of the year.
We're going to see a ripple in the next few months. Mark my word. I think people are going to start realizing, we've talked about this before with credit card debt to debt ratio to inflation to lockdown to, I mean, these next couple of months are going to be very rocky. We got to get out of the winter, get early into spring. And then I think you're going to get a wake up call. And I think we're going to get a big spike by then. I think April, May is going to be the biggest pump of the year. And cash out.
Really? That's what you're thinking?
Yeah. I'm calling it now.
Because I'm April, May being the biggest dump we've ever seen. And I'm only saying that because of, and I'm interested that you said that because I'm thinking more like the retail contracts for wholesalers are going to catch up to the retailer by then. And that was the only thing that freaked me out. But No, I'm kind of interested. So you're seeing the pump come this spring then?
Yeah.
I know they're calling for a shit Q1, so that's fine. But
Well, interest rates are going to pump in after Q1 too, right?
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
People are going to get their kickbacks, their investments. It's the time to invest. You're going to hear a lot of that. And I think it'll go to the moon by May. I'm out, cash out, sit back and watch it just flatline for the rest of the year.
No, I did not go to Lent.
I'm thinking about going to Lent, actually.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm going to move everything over there. I need to stake my Ethereum somewhere because right now Bitcoin's giving me, BlockFi's giving me nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think they stake Ethereum.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
On Ledden? I thought it was just USDC and Bitcoin.
No, they have Ethereum, don't they?
Let me check.
I didn't think they did.
I got to stick it somewhere because I have to get it out of
Because the only reason Tim Dancer has BlockFi is because of his ETH. I'm almost 100% certain Ledden does not stake ETH.
No, they don't.
Who has the highest?
They have plans to, but Mario couldn't confirm it, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has the highest APY on a stablecoin?
Well, according to
Who has
Dave,
the highest APY on a stablecoin?
Crypto.com apparently has 14%.
You got a bot in there too.
Uh-oh. Time to take out the bot.
All right. I'll have to go shopping and find out where I'm moving my ETH to.
Time Wonderland. I don't know what that's about.
I know what Time Wonderland's about, kind of.
Do tell.
I was looking at it. It's something to do with some kind of staking in a virtual game or something. I can't remember exactly what it was all about, but I looked at it and I was just like, I'll get back to it, and I totally forgot about it. And now seeing that, I remember.
Wow, 14% on Crypto.com is great for USDC.
Yeah, or Anchor Protocol.
You guys have lots of confidence in Crypto.com?
No, I've never used it. Don't plan to. They're based out of the US.
I've never used it, but I mean, the fact that they bought an arena makes me think that they're probably not going to rug pull.
Time out. They didn't buy the arena. They paid to put their name on the arena.
Exactly. Sorry.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Let's be accurate there.
Yeah.
Because
I love that, hearing that from people. It's like, well, that's the Scotiabank arena. No. That's the name. They just own the name. They don't own the building. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. No, that makes absolute sense. Excuse me. And of course, the CRO token, it's done some pretty big things this year. So they're probably okay. I just don't have any interest in getting involved in another exchange at the moment.
Right.
But
I'm looking for like a stablecoin platform where you can, I want to put some of my emergency fund into a stablecoin, like 20% of it, just to gain some interest on it.
Right.
Well, I've heard Crypto.com is pretty easy to use. The platform, like the wallet on your phone, is pretty easy to use.
It has to be based on that name that they're using. There's a lot of infrastructures put into that one.
Yeah.
And if you're putting your emergency fund in there, my biggest thing is how quickly can you get the money out if you need it? That would be for me the determining factor.
That's kind of my.
You know, and I myself, my emergency fund, I've got it in like EQ Bank. Just it's only making like 1.25% interest, but it's still better than nothing.
I've been using Coinbase for a long time.
Now, how fast can you get it off of Coinbase, though?
That day. I mean, I don't have millions in there, so I think I'm doing okay. You know, I haven't tried to move tens of thousands of dollars that I don't have. You know, so $800 is not so bad to move over in an overnight schedule. But you know, I'll let you know when when I have tens of thousands of dollars. You know.
Yeah, Candace, like I have my emergency fund in EQ as well, but I want to put like 20% of it into like a stable coin and earn a higher percent on it. That's all.
Right. No, that makes absolute sense. See, what I would almost do myself, it's not a stable coin though, is that I could conceivably put it into Polkadot, get the 12% staking reward on it. Because I can move off of Kraken, for example, I can move and have any coins I have on that exchange liquidated usually within 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what they offer on their
Honestly,
stable coins there.
Oh, yeah.
But they do have stable coins as well, I'm pretty sure.
You know what? At the end of the day, you if you have heavy volume on the fucking server, you're not getting it out in their prescribed time. BlockFi proved this, Ledin proved this, even ShakePay proves this.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to just like at the end of the day, I think it's just fair to say you can research all you want. It's going to be between 24 and fucking 86 hours, 84 hours, whatever it is, right? Like it's going to be 1 to 4 days, depending on the weekend.
86 days.
86 days. I know that BlockFi took me 4 days once, and it's been as low as 12 hours. So it's obviously volume on the server, right? Like ShakePay takes 20 minutes, but I've had it sometimes take hours and hours. I don't know. I have no faith in getting it instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rye, 20 minutes to finish the whole transaction, or 20 minutes
On
to see the blockchain.
On ShakePay? Dude.
Yeah.
If I have $10,000 in Bitcoin on ShakePay, I will have $10,000 in my bank account within 10 minutes. It's because ShakePay settles the score in advance, and they'll deal with the back end wait, right? So I get it instantaneously, just as much as easy as you can feed your ShakePay card, right? Like once you convert it to cash, it's in your account. So it's not as much the e-transfer part, that's instant. It's that instant conversion of Bitcoin to cash. That's them absorbing the time it takes to verify.
Have a good night, Jason.
But that's why they also charge a slightly higher spread than you might find on Binance or whatever.
ShakePay is fantastic.
Yeah, I love
it's
ShakePay.
crazy fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, and to Ryan's thoughts there is that I've been in the grocery store and I realized that I ran out of funds on my ShakePay credit on their Visa, and how quickly I can move funds, even a quick $300.
Yeah. And well, like I said, look, if you have a fucking full-blown Bitcoin, it converts to cash like this.
Yeah.
Because they absorb the weight, right? So then if you want to take whatever the fuck whatever you want out of your account, then you're good to go. But they're taking the risk on it. So you're paying with the spread. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Now, for those of you out there,
I've had ShakePay say,
I was just going to say, those of you in chat, we're going to be live for about another 15 minutes. So if you got any final questions, get those in.
Now go, Nate.
All right. Now go, Nate. Yeah.
Okay. So for ShakePay, I've had where I'm sitting in the grocery line, like this week at the superstore. I send the transaction. ShakePay actually says the money is in your account. And then I get a notification from my bank saying the transfer has completed 5 minutes later.
It's wild.
Which is crazy.
I think the ShakePay card is going to be a little less appealing when we're down to the 1%, because that's coming pretty soon, depending on how much you. So realistically, it might be a different tune coming out, because Netcoins has a card that's 5% for the. I mean, there's a million things, but hopefully ShakePay can stick to 2%, because 1% is not even competitive. It doesn't really matter at that point. I don't know. I'm hoping they can stick to at least 2%.
Or at the very least, have a lot of promotions where you can pick up a few extra percent here and there.
My mother got so lucky. She had a $400 purchase ShakePaid, plus all of her cash back. She spent all of her business money on, she blew it up. And I think she ended up making $700 in free Bitcoin in 2 months.
Wow.
Seriously, went mental. And the thing is, remember on Sunday, I was not feeling good about Bitcoin last Sunday or whatever. So I convinced her to cash out too. She ended up putting it on a bunch of stocks and did well. But no, she has not paid for a single Satoshi. And I think she's earned $700 from ShakePay and free Bitcoin. give or take. It's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty crazy.
So, a buddy
See,
of
and I
mine
thought-
actually works for ShakePay. Oh, sorry, Candace, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I thought I was lucky because I got and on that cashback thing with Wealthsimple Cash Card, by sending dollars back and forth, I basically won $5 about 7 times. So I was like, that's good.
What?
Yeah, I know. I kept winning $5.
I had one $5 win. I still got to check. Yeah, I had one.
ShakePay paid for my coffee the other day, so that was nice. Yeah.
It sucks when you get a shake paid. That's for like $3. Like when I saw Nate's, I almost spit my drink out. I was laughing. I'm just like, oh God, like 2 days after my mom gets a banger, you get like a $3 coffee paid for. I'm like, this, oh man, you never know. You never know. That was classic.
Yeah.
Oh well, free
But
coffee.
yeah, I was gonna say my buddy John works for ShakePay, and he said that someone purchased a $2,600 item at an Apple store and got ShakePaid.
Wow.
He said there's been some pretty significant winners, and he said there's been a couple people that have had like multiple really good wins, but he can't actually use the card because he works for the company. So he's like, yeah.
Oh, you can't use it if you work for the company?
No, because of that lottery pool.
You can't get. Yeah.
So the guy I was talking to at ShakePay was totally lying to me. Oh, Mike, what a liar. Okay, now I know. He's trying to pitch me. Okay, now I know. Now I know I've been pitched. Okay. I'll adjust my stance on the next.
This is on the download, guys.
No, of course.
Don't put this on the internet.
Well, you kind of just did, dude.
Well, no, if you read that word backwards, it just says evil. That's all it says.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say live. It just says evil.
Exactly.
Evil.
And that's
Evil
why
Nate.
Nate's here. It's to protect us from that evil.
Evil Nate at night.
That's right.
So next week on the show,
Okay, I better get back to editing, though.
yeah, next week on the show, Nate will be here to perform an exorcism.
Great.
No, that would be
Nate,
absolutely.
you got to make a
I'm gonna
friggin'
bounce.
YouTube course. Okay? Like sell it on Udemy or Teachables, dude. Teach people how you edit. I will be your first customer. I promise you. Like I throw up, like put 2 months worth of work into it, throw up like 50 hours, charge a couple $100. I guarantee you'll put an extra 30 grand in your pocket a year because I'm all about these people buy that stuff. And dude, your editing skills, I don't get it. It's like you went to school for this, or are we all just idiots? Like that, I can't tell. Like I feel like a dummy when I watch your videos.
It's like we're all playing Pee Wee while you're in the NHL.
Yeah, geez.
Thanks,
Like he's
guys.
playing chess, and I don't even know how to play checkers yet. It's it's classic. Anyway, you're a great editor, man.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, though, right? Like I just did my first run through, and that took me an hour and a half just to do the first run through and just cut out all the, that's the hardest part, I think. Like you say stuff in your video, and then you're like, all right, 3 minutes gone.
Yeah. Hack it away.
Do you script?
Yeah. Butcher.
Like heavy?
Butcher. No. So I got like my main points.
Yeah.
So like if I have like a video that's like, okay, I'm going to give you the 5 best ways to grow your money or something stupid like that, then I'll already know those 5 ways because most of the stuff I share with, I've experienced it. So I'm just sharing what I'm already experiencing. So yeah, I don't script. But yeah.
I love dude. Yeah. If you ever put something out, send me a link. I'm your first customer, buddy. I wish I knew how to edit like you, man. I'm telling you. You're a pro. You're a friggin' pro.
You could even create
300 subs.
So you could even make your own an additional channel just teaching people how to edit.
That's
Well, there's a lot of that out there. It's not easy.
That's another thing is like this group is kind of unique in identifying like diamonds in the rough. But like Nate's channel is a total diamond in the rough. You don't, I mean, 300 subscribers, dude. Like you're gonna blow up. I mean, we're lucky to friggin' see that channel, man. The effort you put in is out of control.
Ryan. Appreciate that.
It's true. I'm telling you. Like subscriber count means nothing. Like I mean, the content you put out is on a level that I don't even know. I can't figure yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to fucking toot your horn here, but yeah, congrats.
Now, speaking of subscribers, if any of you guys in chat have not yet subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Click it right now. It'll thank you, and you'll have really good dreams tonight. I can almost guarantee that.
Those dreams that no one ever talks about, you're gonna have one of those.
Yeah,
One of those.
this conversation is starting to move to where the after show should be.
Yeah, I heard the after show was yesterday. You missed it.
This is the thing. I'm gonna have to tone down on the live streams I participate in because Ken has me up till 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Candace, I come on here. I'm like, you know what? I'll say hello. I'll do my own thing. Now I'm on here for an hour and a half. It's just never gonna end. Oh, you know who's starting a channel too? Redbeard. He bought a full-blown podcast setup. He's got the mic. It's never ending, and I love everyone to death. But I gotta tone back.
Don't worry,
Ryan. It's incredible.
You're not going to come onto my channel?
Of course, I'm going to come on. I'm just saying I got to chill the hell out a little bit here. I got to go to bed at a normal time.
Night, man. When we were done last night, my buddy Mike called me, and I ended up staying up until like 5:30 in the morning.
Dude, me and Journey were talking again. He got in trouble, I think, whatever it was. Dude, I'm telling you, I didn't get up till like, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon today. It was a write-off, dude. I had stuff to do today. It was a joke. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? My mom's like, oh, what'd you do last night? I don't know. Spoke to Ken for 12 hours, I guess. I got to start. I'm like, I don't know. I've been in the zone for a minute.
Oh, dear. Now, here we have Dave D. He subscribed on the first day. Dave is like our community's version of Tom on MySpace. It's like almost every account in our community comes with Dave.
Dave, Panda, Journey, Jason.
They're all they're all awesome.
Yeah.
For sure.
Actually, how about this? You guys have 2.5 minutes to ask a question, and then we get to the after show. How about that? Does that sound like a deal? I'm not in control, but
actually, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2.5 minutes.
Now.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. I need a dart. Come on now.
Okay, last minute questions, folks. Let's go. Last minute questions.
But yeah, let's get these in here. Last night was awesome.
So, and by the way, the whole new year starts tomorrow for my channel. So let's just rock. It's already pre-filmed. I know I'm ready to rock and roll. We got our watch list. I'm taking Gary's ideas to heart with respect to the channel members. So that's happening, Gary. Trust me, because I love the way that you said that. So by the way, how market close live streams, you already kind of know, but the way it's official, it's 100% happening. It'll either start at 1:30 or slightly earlier, depending on the news, and at 2 o'clock, like when the bell rings, for that 15 to 30 minutes that we all rant and stuff. No more. It's just gonna be channel members only, and then we just talk every single day, 5 days a week, channel members, and then keep going. That'll be the first thing. But yeah, just started with channel members on that, so that'll be sick.
Very, very cool. Do you got a video planned for Monday?
Yeah, or Canada.
That's right.
I know. I'm not.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about them.
About Canada?
Yeah.
I'm not buying right. I think I've been saying for a long time they're going to come down a lot further, dude. The only thing I like about Canada is the attitude that they're starting to show the government. That's my main thing. There's a pro and there's a con. I'm going to go over the negatives because there's a hell of a lot of negatives. I'm going to go over some pros and like align that too with our second biggest airliner, WestJet, and then talk about some of the smaller subsidiaries like Cargo. Like there's no good story about Air Canada, but knowing about the only airline you can invest in the entire country, it's kind of important to me at least.
Always keep this in mind. You know that Cargo for Air Canada is completely separated to their passenger side of the aircraft.
It's what, sir?
Their passenger side is what you invest in on the stocks. Cargo is a complete different identity, and they don't connect.
Okay, then I have to look more into that because they've been reallocating some of their passenger jets for cargo.
I used to charter and work with Air Canada exclusively for many, many years, right?
I'm wondering.
Two
Okay, I
different
gotta look at.
identities.
Then you got. So then, where is Air Canada Cargo as an investable?
It's not on the market. It's on something completely different. And I'll have to get into more information and try to look it up for you as well.
I'm gonna look and see if cargo is on the Air Canada balance sheet. That's a simple yes or no on that. Yeah.
I don't think you'll see it there.
You know what? I've never looked at it. I gotta look now because now you're tripping me out. I don't care. I'm not invested in it. I think it's coming down either way. I don't own Air Canada, so whatever. But yeah, no, now I'm curious. I want to look at their balance sheet.
Perfect. Well, anyway, everybody, we have hit the end of the road. I just want to thank you all for showing up tonight. It has been a blast. Thank you to all of our guests who have graced us with their presence. And we'll see you guys again, of course, next week. And we'll have 2 videos as well during the week.
Fantastic.
So
look forward to it.
Thank you guys and have yourself a fantastic new year.